You obviously, those of you who applauded perceived the profundity of the question that I didn't. I don't quite understand. They are all a threat to peace. That is correct. Why did I only pick on Arab Muslim? I said Boko Haram. That is not Arab.
Arab and or Muslim.
Yes, Arab and or Muslim. That is correct. The only beheading groups in the world today, to the best of my knowledge, are Arab or Muslim.
Why do you think that is, in your estimation?
Why do I think that is? Sad to say, it was answered by Arab intellectuals at the United Nations, because the Arab world is a benighted place at this time. The status of women is particularly low. The Arab world translates fewer books in a year than in 10 years than Greece. The entire Arab world translates fewer books than Greece does in 1 year. There is no interest in the foreign world. It is a benighted world, the Arab world. It is a tragedy. This is not anti-Arab. If you love Arabs, you have to understand how low the moral level of the Arab world at this point is. And that has nothing to do with individual Arabs who may be saintly, but that is the dominant moral.
Yeah, and Muhammad was a pedo, you know what I mean? Muhammad was a pedo. So, fuck him. Muhammad was Jimmy Savile. You fucking listen to the Jimmy Savile up to the fucking, you know what I mean? Fuck Muhammad, fuck Jimmy Savile, fuck Islam.
State. You are taught that you cannot judge civilizations as if Britain and Mali are on the same moral level. That is to give up on hope for humanity, to claim that there is no civilization that has produced something better than something else. So that is the tragic reason. They're not beheading people in Western civilization. They are in the Arab and Muslim worlds, and not the entire Muslim world. Now, why then? My second part is to answer the question, why is something so obvious? That Israel wants peace and that Hamas wants to destroy Israel. Why is that debated at one of the most illustrious?
I mean, if you watched Reason, the channel Reason yesterday, good channel, she had a clip, it was either yesterday or the day before, she had a clip of somebody from Hamas saying that they want to annihilate Jews, take them off the earth, remove Israel, and they'll keep doing October the 7th over and over till the job's done. And that's the Hamas crack, the Iran crack, generally the Muslim crack. Do you know what I mean? That's the crack. So it's, I mean, you've got people as well at levels of religion. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got people who are like Christians, Catholics, but they don't really like follow the faith. They don't go to church, but they're still Christians and Catholics. Well, it's maybe the same on the Muslim side of the fence, but the people who are fanatical of Islam, basically terrorists who want to kill everybody and behead you, is kind of the crack, or blow you up with a terrorist bomb or whatever, stab you in the street, kill kids, as we've seen. So, yeah, that's kind of what we see of fanatical Islam, whereas fanatical like Christians stand in the street and try and get you to turn to Jesus. Do you know what I mean? They wander around in Manchester with a big cross saying Jesus saves. I mean, it doesn't. That man in that man in Manchester. I don't know the lad's name. Sorry, fella's name. But at no point does he attempt to hit Muslims with the cross that he carries round all day in Manchester. Never seen it on any videos. Didn't do it on Saturday. At no point does he wield the cross as a weapon and attempt to hurt the Muslims. Right? It doesn't. It's not done from the Christian side. It's not done from the Catholics. It's not done from the Jews that I've seen. And definitely, if there is the odd Jew that's done it, it's in nowhere near to the amount of fucking Muslims that's done it. And again, this is war, if that's what you want to say. This is war, and this is what happens in war. People kill each other. So that's what it is. And again, this for me as well, I've stated many times, this whole conflict that we're currently witnessing started on October the 7th due to Hamas brutally killing and attacking a festival. I mean, we've seen pictures the other day of a hostage 2 years down the line, almost starved to death, digging his own grave. And this is a religion of peace, apparently. I mean, we all know it's bollocks. That's the beauty of it. We all know it's bollocks, and we're not allowed to say that. And apparently, from the Muslims or the left wing, but we all know it's bollocks, and fuck the Muslims and fuck the left wing. We'll just tell the truth here, and it's not a religion of peace at all, and we all know that.
Academic institutions on earth, Oxford. I have two answers. One is there has been a broken moral compass in the intellectual world in the West for the last perhaps 80 or 100 years. I will give you an example. I studied at Columbia University at the School of International Affairs. I was taught by brilliant, and they were brilliant, professors that the United States and the Soviet Union were moral equivalents. It was capitalism versus communism, two economic theories, that's all. Neither was better than the other. You may not recall because you weren't born, many of you, but Ronald Reagan, the President of the United States, called the Soviet Union at one point an evil empire. He was lambasted. He was declared by Columbia and Harvard and Yale and Princeton and the New York Times a fool for having the temerity to make a moral statement about the Soviet Union, a place that had created the Gulag Archipelago and killed 40 million of its own people, not to mention a genocide in Ukraine. That is what I tell you, students, that's what has taken over in Western universities, a broken moral compass that truly calls evil good and good evil. I went through this, and I'm afraid many of you are going through this. This evening is one such example. And finally, the media. The media gives you a jaundiced view of the world. Gaza starts a war to kill as many Israelis as possible. And all you see on the BBC and Sky News, as we see in America on our TV, is dead Gazans. That's all you see. I shudder to think if in World War II the same media covered World War II, you would have seen far more dead German civilians than dead British civilians. But it takes a very, very frail moral mind to believe that you determine right and wrong by the number of dead.
Dennis said this sentence 10 years ago. This is 2025. We are currently at war with Hamas, and this is
Yeah, again, he's bang on. Yeah, like the right or wrong by the number of dead, and this is the problem with most of these people, the left wing, and just people in general, because they've got a broken moral compass. That's absolutely brilliantly described here. The amount of dead is not the issue, as I keep saying, and October the 7th is the issue. The mentality of Hamas and the Muslims to eradicate the Jews and want to eradicate, and many of them say this. That's your problem here. The Israelis are retaliating to what happened to them, and just because you're better armed and it doesn't. It's on Hamas. You don't start the fight in the first place. It's all on Hamas. The reason that Gaza is in fucking ruin is because of Hamas. They knew full well Israel's capabilities before they attacked them. They knew full well Israel's capabilities, yet they've still done it. So Israel has the right to retaliate, and that's exactly what's happened here. And again, the fact that we have better weapons than you, well, you were fucking stupid for starting this war in the first place, weren't you? You were stupid for attacking us on October the 7th. Because if you are going to eradicate us, then we are capable of eradicating you, and we'll prove it. So if you'd learn the lesson this time, or the next time, we will eradicate you, is probably what's being said here, to be honest, because they haven't quite eradicated them. And all this bullshit again that you're hearing in the media, as this guy says, it's all one-sided. It's all one-sided. They hate the Jews or the poor people of Gaza and Hamas. They started all this. They absolutely started it on October the 7th, and there's no two ifs, buts, fucking maybes about it. That's what happened here. Everybody in the world fucking witnessed it. So this is why nobody's got any respect for the left wing and all this free Palestine bullshit. Well, free Palestine from what? From Hamas. It's free from fucking Israel. Israel moved out long ago, but you decided to go and attack them. So they've come back to blow the shit out of you because you fucked with them. So fair dues in my eyes, completely fair dues.
Exactly what's happening. Because this has been their tactic all along. How come 10 years ago he was able to foresee it? Because that's what they do all the time. They're always building on the dead children, dead women, starvation that they do, that they impose. It's disgusting. And he was able to see it 10 years ago. I mean, all of us were, but he was just able to call it out publicly.
That's what we are told. Look at how many Gazans were killed and how few Israelis. Well, look at how few Brits were killed and how many more Germans were. Does that make
Yeah, good point, good point.
the Germans right in World War II? That's the facile moral thinking that pervades our world.
Yeah, it's bang on. This is it. And it's like I had many conversations on Saturday with people about the left wing and how you can't debate with them because there's no. When you have a debate with somebody or you try to come to some sort of common ground, both of you have to move slightly to come to some common ground, whereas the left wing just won't move. They've stuck their feet in the sand and they will not budge. And you're trying to explain things to them and they're like, well, nah, nah, nah. And you're like, well, yeah, you're just wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you're just wrong. All of yous are wrong. I mean, they must be getting paid, a lot of them. Half of them, the ones that aren't getting paid are just fucking stupid. Do you know what I mean? You're like, you're protesting to bring down your own country that you live in. Half of you's protesting are women, and you won't be allowed to do shit and probably get stoned to death when you bring in the future that you're fucking bringing in here. That's the fucking stupidity of the left wing here, especially the women in it. This woman here, for as an example, in the fucking fancy dress here. You might have a fancy dress, lass, but you're thick as fuck.
So I end with this, and that is, it would be a tragedy, in my opinion, if it came out, if it were known, the Oxford Union actually determined that Israel and not Hamas were the greater threat to peace. Outside of the world of academia, it is pretty clear. It's got to be clear here too. Thank you very much.
Guys, I know it's going to be hard to believe, but Dennis Prager and his team were able to win this debate 10 years ago. If the same debate would have been held right now at the Oxford Union, they would have lost. Why? Because people are getting brainwashed. Brainwashed by the media, just like Dennis said. Brainwashed by Hamas, just like Dennis said. It's all one big plot against Israel. And this question...
Yeah, and people are falling for it, to be honest. I see many people falling for it, and even people like the conspiracy minded, to be honest, and they've took all the bullshit of the Jews own the banks and all this bullshit and all, like, you know what I mean? And they maybe do, but that's got fuck all to do with it, to be honest. So this started on an attack on a festival on October the 7th on Israeli citizens, and Israel, a country whose citizens were massacred, tortured, kidnapped, a lot of returned dead. We've seen the footages. Israel have retaliated to a heinous attack upon themselves, and as I've said before in this video, they've got better fucking weapons than you have. They've got missiles, they've got all sorts, mates. They're fucking in arms with America and us, the British. So yeah, they've got shit better weapons than you have. So you were fucking stupid for doing what you done in the first place, weren't you? Because now Gaza is in ruin, and it's all Hamas's fault. It's pretty much the tale here. So I'll leave it there. Just thought an interesting video from Sahar TV and the whole debate of who wants peace more. Clearly Israel didn't start the attack. Yeah, and you're just getting fed a load of bullshit propaganda, and half of the people are fucking stupid and fall for it. But a lot of people aren't stupid and don't fall for it, and again, it's a moral thing for me. I think I've said this before in the video, like, it's a moral thing. Like, again, who's the ones that go around attacking innocent people, stabbing children, beheading people? Lee Rigby, stabbing people on bridges, multiple events. And you'll find it's the Muslims that always seem to start this. They don't want a fair fight, you know. They'll just run up behind you and stab you in the fucking back like a fucking snake. So we've seen plenty of it. We've seen plenty of it. Speaks for itself. Speaks for itself. That's why we don't want a mosque in Cumbria, to be honest. We don't want a mosque here. We don't want this fucking religion here. Because we've seen what it can do. We've seen the damage it can cause, and the damage can be immense. So that's what the British people think, to be honest, in general. And it doesn't matter how much you try and silence us or put us in prison, because you haven't got enough prisons, to be honest. You haven't got enough prisons to put all the British people in prison, or the majority. I'd say you've got a good 80% with this way of thinking, and 20% on the left wing. So you're outnumbered. You're outnumbered. But generally, this is what people think, and again, this is why people don't want a mosque in Cumbria. And you speak to any Cumbrian at all who's honest with you, which is most Cumbrians, because we're honest. No Cumbrian wants mosques here or Islam, because again, we've seen the damage it can cause. October the 7th being the perfect example. Or just Southport, you know what I mean, or Lee Rigby, or London bombings, or you take your pick. I'll leave it there. Peace.